You start yet?
I think we'll wait one more minute and then we'll start. Okay, let's get started. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا حلالا طيبا وتوبة نصوحا. Okay, so our topic for today is upgrade your Salah. But before we talk about that, at least the people who are on Zoom, can you introduce yourselves and tell me your age? Yahya and Imad?
I'm 9 years old, and my name is Imad Wisfi.
MashaAllah.
I'm Yahya, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm a homeschooler.
MashaAllah. Who else do we have? Maria? Is there Maria here? No, maybe it's a problem with the mic. Mariam?
13 years old. My name is Miriam.
Okay, thank you. Nadia? No, okay. Anyone else whose name I didn't call? Okay, we'll get started then. So it's Ramadan. As we all know, it's almost halfway through Ramadan. And in Ramadan, we have two types of people. The Ramadan zombie and the preppy Muslim. So I guess you can think for a moment and figure out which one you are. Hopefully not the first one, not the zombie. But some Muslims, when Ramadan comes, they are like a zombie, right? They wander around weak, feeble. They don't know what's going on. They can't wait for iftar, and their day is confused and not productive. On the other hand, we have the peppy Muslim, right? Who the Muslims who are alert and active and so on. So obviously we want to be, which one? Which one should we be aiming to be?
The second one.
Happy Muslim, right, the second one. And that is partially an attitude, right? If you decide you want to be upbeat and positive and looking on the positive side and trying to keep yourself busy so you don't think too much about food, then you can do it. And also, of course, there are other things you need to, it's good if you get up for suhoor, so that way you can eat something before the fast starts, and so you're less hungry, and so on. But moving on from here, actually, the main point of Ramadan is not to just deprive ourselves of food. The point is to get closer to Allah, right? To make our relationship with Allah stronger. And a big part of that is, of course, the Salah, because when you are praying, you are communicating with Allah. So I thought it would be a good topic to talk about Khushu in Salah, how to upgrade your Salah, how to make your Salah better quality. There's a verse in the Quran, قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Certainly the believers will be successful, and then it gives about 10 characteristics of the true believers, the good Muslims. And the very first characteristic, the very first thing that good Muslims do is that they have khushu in their salah. They are humbly submissive during their prayer. So this is an important quality for the believers. But how do we get there? How can we be humbly submissive in our salah? How can we have khushu in salah? There's actually a Shaitaan, a devil, a Shaitaan whose job it is to make people confused during the salah. By the way, did I mention there will be a Kahoot quiz like last week? So make sure you listen carefully and you can take notes if you want. And there will be a quiz at the end. And there will be a prize for the winner, just like last week. Okay, so it's important to have this thing called khushu in salah, which is basically for the salah to be done in a good way, and we'll talk about how that happens, how we can help that to happen, right? Because it takes effort. So there is a Shaitaan whose job it is to confuse people during the salah, right? And this Shaitaan's name is Khinzab. Right, there's a hadith about this in Sahih Muslim. So this Shaitaan is trying to fight you in your Salah to prevent you from doing a good Salah, to prevent you, in other words, from having Khushu. So, yeah, let's go on to the next slide. So what is Khushu? Because we already saw them from the Quran that the believers will be successful, and they are those who offer their salah with khushu'. So khushu', we could say, has three parts, three components. One of them is humility, right? In other words, you stand before Allah humble, right? You don't, of course, you don't stand in your prayer like yeah. What is the opposite of humility? Who can give me a word? You don't stand in your salah with what attitude?
Arrogance?
Arrogance. Good. Anyone else? Of course, you don't stand like you're trying to scare someone.
Yeah, pride.
Yeah, someone else saying something?
Pride.
I can't hear you very well, sorry. Maybe if you want to type it in the chat window. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so you stand humble, meaning that you stand in such a way that you realize that Allah is much more powerful and much greater than us, right? And secondly, tranquility. What does tranquility mean? Who can tell me? To offer your salah in a tranquil way.
To be peaceful.
Peaceful, yeah. You want to be peaceful, not stiff and not moving around too much, right? Not looking for things in your pocket and not putting your hands on your face and all over your body and scratching and so on. You should be peaceful in your salah. And thirdly, you should try to have awe and fear of Allah. Yeah, we could say this kind of relates to the first point, right? Because we said that being humble means that you recognize that Allah is much greater than us and much more powerful, right? Okay. So if we pray with khushu in this way, then we can actually enjoy the salah. The salah will no longer be something that you were rushed to do, maybe only at the last minute, and we rush through it and don't really feel anything. Rather, if we pray in the right way, the salah will be something that we enjoy, right? It will be a source of peace to us, right? It's reported in the hadith that the Prophet, when he told Bilal to call the adhan, he told him, "Arihna bis-salah," that give us relaxation or give us peace by calling the adhan. Okay. Let's go on. Yeah, actually, there are many benefits of praying properly. One is what I mentioned, that we will enjoy the salah. And another one is, as the Quran tells us, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Right? That salah prevents a person from doing bad and wrong actions. Right? If you think about it, it makes sense, right? Yeah, because if you are praying with the right frame of mind, yeah, 5 times a day, then it is much more unlikely that you will do something seriously wrong, a big sin, in between the prayers, because you will be reminding yourself that actually in a few minutes or a few hours, I will have to pray again. And how will I feel standing before Allah, knowing that I did this sin? All right. So who can tell me some sins which we commonly do during the day or night? 1 or 2 examples? Yeah. Lying, yeah. Good.
Backbiting.
Backbiting, good.
Saying bad things about someone else.
Saying bad things about
Hitting
someone.
people.
Sorry, what is that?
Hitting people.
Hitting people, yeah. So if you, it's much more unlikely that you'll do things like this if you remind yourself that actually in a little while I'll have to pray Dhuhr. Actually, maybe some people have prayed Dhuhr already, right? And we'll talk more about this, yeah? Imagining that you are standing before Allah, right? Standing before Allah who created us. Okay, let's go on. Okay, there are some stories of pious people, right? And these stories can also help us to develop our own khushu, because these stories can encourage us, right? They can encourage us. So there is a story about a Sahabi whose name was Abbad ibn Bishr. And this was, of course, we know that when the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina, then the people of Mecca, the mushrikeen, the idolaters, declared war on the Muslims, and there were battles that took place. So Abbad ibn Bishr was one time keeping watch, right? In one of the battles, he was a night watchman, all right, to keep watch in case the enemy attacks during the night, in which case he can wake up everyone else. So he thought that, all right, I have to stay awake anyway, so why don't I pray the tahajjud, right? Why don't I pray the optional night prayer? So he started to pray. And while he was praying, actually, I guess someone from the enemy army saw him standing and he shot an arrow at him. And what happened? Abbad continued praying. Then he was shot by another arrow, and then another one. And it was only after he has been shot by 3 arrows that he actually ended the prayer and woke up his friend, and his friend said that, what's going on? You are being shot at with arrows. Why didn't you not wake me? Why did you not wake me up earlier? And does anyone know the story? Anyone know what Abbad ibn Bishr said? He said that I was reciting a surah and I didn't like to cut the surah short. I wanted to finish the surah before waking you up, right? So was he enjoying the prayer? Yes, definitely. He was enjoying the Salah so much that he wanted to continue praying in spite of being shot by the arrows. And maybe because he was enjoying the Salah so much, he didn't feel the pain from the arrows so much. Actually, similar story, Urwa ibn Zubayr. One time they needed to operate on his leg. And in those days, actually, they did not have, what is it called, that they give you when you have surgery, so you go to sleep and you don't feel the pain. What is it called?
Anesthesia.
You're good. And anesthesia. So they didn't have anesthesia in those days. So what Urwa told the doctors is that when I start to pray and give me a little bit of time after I have started praying, and then when I am in the middle of the prayer, then start the surgery. Because when I am in the Salah, my thoughts are on the prayer, and I will not feel the pain, or I will not feel as much pain. There was another pious person called Thabit al-Bunani, who was one of the tabi'een. He would make dua that, oh Allah, if you allow anyone to perform salah in the grave when they are dead, then allow me to do that. Right? Why was he making dua for Allah to allow him to pray even after death? Because he enjoyed the salah, right? Imam al-Bukhari, one time he was invited to one of his friends' gardens, right? Maybe some kind of a picnic. and then while they were there, it was time for Salah, so Salah al-Dhuhr. And so they prayed Salat al-Dhuhr, and after the Fard, Imam al-Bukhari spent a long time performing the Sunnah prayers after Dhuhr. And then when he finished, he said to one of his friends that actually I was feeling something while I was praying, and he lifted his shirt and he asked his friend, can you just look in my shirt if you see anything? And his friend saw that actually there was a hornet there. Who everyone know what a hornet is? What is a hornet?
Kind of like a bee.
Yeah, kind of like a big bee. So there was a hornet in his shirt, and this hornet had actually stung him 16 or 17 times. And his skin was swollen because of all of these hornet bites. But because he was, his mind was on the Salah and he was enjoying the Salah so much, he hardly felt it. Another story, the last one, Zayn al-Abidin. Anyone know who Zayn al-Abidin is? He's a famous person from Islamic history.
No.
Anyone? No? He was, let's see, he was a descendant of the Prophet ﷺ. His name was Ali ibn al-Hussein ibn Ali. So Ali, of course, Ali ibn Abi Talib was married to who?
Fatima.
Fatima, radiallahu anha, the Prophet's daughter. And they had a son. Actually, one of their sons was named Hussein, right? And one of Hussein's sons was named also Ali, like his grandfather. So Ali, this Ali, the son of Hussein, was given the title Zainul Abidin. All right. So he was, let's see, grandson or great-grandson of the Prophet? Great-grandson, yeah. So one time he was praying in his house and there was a fire. There was a fire in the house, right? Maybe someone cooking and because in those days they use fire for cooking. But whatever the reason, there was a fire in the house. And Zayn al-Abidin continued with his Salah, right? Whereas everyone else was running to and fro and was worried, and maybe some people ran out of the house. He actually completed his Salah, right? He didn't interrupt his Salah. Then when he finished, he said, people asked him that, why weren't you not, it seems you are not worried about the fire in the house. And actually he replied, I was more worried about the fire of hell, the fire of Jahannam. Okay. Yeah, actually, if there is a fire in your house, should you continue praying? What do you think?
Maybe not.
Probably not, right? Unless you see there are other people around and they have the fire under control, then you could finish your prayer. But if you are needed to help put out the fire, then you should break your prayer, right? You should actually break your prayer. So in the case of Zain al-Abidin, he probably realized that there are enough other people to control the fire and put it out. Okay. So how can we get khushu in our salah? How can we start to enjoy the salah? The rest of the presentation I have arranged under three topics: preparations, actions, and thoughts. So, preparations. This I divided into three parts also. So there are external distractions, there are internal distractions, and there are things you can do to prepare. So we start with external distractions. Before you pray, look for a suitable place. Sorry. As many of you know, I was actually very sick last year, and as a result of that, alhamdulillah, I'm much better now, but one thing that has remained is I still have difficulty speaking. So thank you for your patience. Yeah, so you want to find a suitable place to pray, right? You don't want to pray in a room where other people are watching TV. Why not? Obvious answer. Who can tell me? Why shouldn't you pray in?
You're gonna get distractions.
Exactly, yeah. And similarly, if you're watching your favorite show and you realize you need to pray, you might think that, well, maybe I'll just pray here. That way I can pray and also see what's happening in my show. Of course, you can't do that, because if you do that, you are not focused on your prayer, right? You won't be able to concentrate on the salah because your mind is half in the TV show. Similarly, turn off your phone, right? Ideally turn it off, or actually maybe easier than turning off. I think my phone has an option, and I think this is the case with most phones nowadays. You have the option, do not disturb, right? Anyone not have that option on their phone? You can select do not disturb mode. And that way, the phone will not ring, and you will not get any notifications until you turn off the do not disturb mode, right? What about putting the phone on vibrate? What do you think about that?
It's going to be very distracting.
Yeah, it will probably also be distracting. Maybe for some people, it will be less distracting than the phone ringing, but it is also going to be distracting. So either turn it off or put it in silent mode or do not disturb mode. Yeah, actually, there's one thing that will still make a noise even if you are in do not disturb mode. Who knows? If you have set an alarm, the alarm will still make a noise even if you are in do not disturb mode. Okay. Similarly, pictures. Don't pray in a place where there are pictures in front of you which might distract you. Yeah, there is a story actually about a scholar of Islam whose name was Abu Zur'a, right? He was early in the 3rd century Hijri, and he was asked, right? He was an imam and a scholar. So someone came to him once and asked him a question that is it allowed to have calligraphy of verses of the Quran on the front wall of the masjid? And he said, no, it is not allowed. Then the person told him that actually in your masjid, there are verses of the Quran inscribed on the front wall, actually in the mihrab, which is where the imam stands. And Abu Zur'a actually said that really I didn't realize, because when I pray, I don't realize what is in front of me. My attention is on the Salah. My mind is, my eyes and my mind are not on anything else. So yeah, I think I have this on a coming slide, but where should your eyes be when you are standing in Salah? Where should your eyes be focused?
They should look down at the mat.
Yes, down at the mat, more
To the left.
specifically. What part of the mat?
The place where you do
the
something.
place where you will do sujood. That's when you are standing. Okay. Clothes. Yeah, there's this hadith where the Prophet received a gift of a nice, fancy kind of jubba, like robe or thobe, right? From a man named Abu Jahm or Abu Juhaim. And it was a nice kind of robe or shirt. So the Prophet put it on, and then it was time for Salah. So he prayed, and after the Salah, he took this robe off, and he said that actually take this the robe back to Abu Jahm and asked him to give me a more plain shirt, all right? Because while I was praying, the designs on this shirt were distracting me, all right? So, yeah, notice that the etiquette of gifts we see here, he didn't just send the gift back with no explanation, because if he did, then Abu Jahm, the person who gave the gift, how would he have felt? He would have felt hurt, right? He would have felt offended. So he sent it back with an explanation that I appreciate, basically, I appreciate that you gave me this gift, and this is a very nice gift, but I don't think I would wear it because it distracts me in the salah. So take it back, and instead of that, give me a more a shirt which is more plain. Okay, actually, another related point is that actually, if you are praying in the masjid, this is even more important. Actually, you should pay attention to what is on the back of your shirt, right? Because you don't want the message or picture on the back of your t-shirt to distract other people who are praying behind you, right? Because people behind you will, while they are praying, they see something written on your shirt, so they are probably going to wonder that what is that writing on his shirt, and they're probably going to look closer and try to read it. And similarly, there is a very colorful picture. So be careful what you wear, especially if you are going to pray in the masjid. Okay, internal distractions. Actually, another point which I forgot to put on the slide, the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to pray in front of a sutra, all right? A sutra is something like a wall or a chair, or if you are praying in the out in the open, to put something in front of you. So this helps to focus your attention, so you don't look past the thing which is in front of you. Okay, internal distractions. There are a couple of hadith about this. One hadith that if the food is served, then if you are very hungry, then you should eat before praying, right? Provided the food is already ready. But this is, of course, the Sahaba did not have 5-course meals like some of us sometimes have, especially in Ramadan. So their meal would be over quickly. So an exception to the principle which we just mentioned, so the general principle is if you are very hungry and the food is served, then pray before eating. The exception to that, anyone think of an exception when you should pray first before eating?
Time is
Yes, if there's not much time remaining for the prayer, such that if you wait to pray after eating, then the time of the salah will be over. In that case, you should pray before eating. Or actually you could eat a few bites, right? And then pray, and then go back to the food after. Yeah, so even if the time is not going to end, especially for Maghrib, the preferable time is the earlier time. So since it is Ramadan, this is especially relevant. So in Ramadan, it is better to break your fast with a date and some water, and if you want, maybe a quick snack. What snacks do people have in iftar? Anyone?
Soup.
Soup, yeah. You could have a bowl of soup after the dates. Anything else? Indo-Pakistani people, what do you have? Samosa, right. So you could have something quick, pakoras, right. You could have something quick like that, and then go to pray Maghrib, and then after that, you have your meal. That is much better than having the full meal before you go to pray Maghrib, because if you do the full meal and then pray, the Maghrib would be delayed. And even if it is not missed, as we said, the preferable time is the earlier time for Maghrib. Okay. How are we doing on time? Okay, we need to try to wrap up and then have, we'll try to wrap up the next 5 to 10 minutes. So we have some time for the Kahoot. Okay, another thing in the another hadith is if you need to use the bathroom, all right? Yeah, if we need to go pee-pee, then it is better for you to go to the bathroom and to make wudu again, and then to pray rather than to, yeah, because sometimes you think that I already have wudu, let me just pray quickly. But if you need to go badly, then you will not be able to focus on the prayer, on the salah. So especially if you need to go to the bathroom badly, oh, volume is a bit low, is it? Maybe plug in the computer, and I think that sometimes helps. Okay. If you, especially if you need to go badly, you should go to the bathroom first, even if, of course, you will lose your wudu and have to make wudu again. That is better than praying a prayer in which you are not able to concentrate because you are rushing so much because you want to go to the bathroom. Okay. Is the prayer invalid if you pray in a hurry? What do you think? Okay, provided you fulfill all the arkan, all the necessary parts of the salah, like reciting Quran and doing ruku and sujud properly, and yeah, when you do ruku and sujud, you should remain calm and motionless for at least a few seconds before you get up, right? at least the time to say Subhana Rabbi al-Azim slowly once, or Subhana Rabbi al-A'la slowly once. So provided you fulfill these basic requirements of the Salah, your Salah, we will say, is valid. You don't need to repeat it, but you have not got full credit for your Salah. So it is possible to get half credit or even less. So there is a hadith that someone might finish praying and earn full credit for the Salah. Other people might get half credit. Other people might get a third. Other people might get a fourth. And the hadith goes on. Some people might get 1/10, 10%. Right? How do you feel if you got 10% on an exam? Bad, right? And actually, some people, in spite of having prayed, they might get 0 credit. Okay. Also, preparation, wudu is part of that. Thoughts, try to think thoughts which would help you in your salah. And going to the masjid will help with that. If you hear the adhan and if you try to recite the dua after adhan, this will help to put you in the right frame of mind for the salah. If you pray sunnah before the fard, right, this will help to it will be a kind of transition from your worldly activities to the salah, right? So maybe in your sunnah, you will not have as much concentration, but by the time you get to the fard after that, you will be more focused, right? And similarly, if you pray sunnah after, all right, as opposed to, all right, when the moment you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you jump up and run to your next activity, all right? And actually another benefit is the sunnah, if you pray sunnah before or after, this can help. Sunnah is a kind of extra credit, right? So if you didn't do as well on the fard, you can do extra credit to raise your grade, right? Similarly, you do dhikr and dua after the salah. Okay. Let's just 2 more slides. Yeah, actions. If you do the actions of the salah properly, this can help with your concentration and khushu. All right. So if you raise your hands slowly, right, at the beginning of the prayer, not just quickly like you're flapping, trying to fly, right? And maybe some people don't raise them properly, don't raise them high enough, right? So kind of flap around your waist. No, you raise them either to your shoulders or to your ears, according to different views. There are hadith for both of the views, to the shoulders or to the ear. The position of your hands, right? I think most people fold their hands, right hand over the left hand. This can help with the concentration, right? Because if you make a point, if you make sure that I am not going to let my hands depart from that position, then you are not going to fidget and do extraneous actions, which is further on the slide. You're not going to scratch and adjust your shirt and maybe loosen your belt or tighten your belt and so on. Yeah, subhanAllah, it is strange. Some people throughout the day, they don't do any of these things, like adjust their hair or adjust their hijab or adjust their clothes. But the moment they start praying, they feel they have to do this. Maybe this is khinzab again. Okay. Lower your head in ruku and straighten your back. This is for ruku. Keep your gaze down. We already said that. Slow down, right? If you pray too fast and you are not remaining motionless in ruku and sujud for at least a few seconds, then your prayer might even be invalid. So slow down. Take your time in ruku and sujud, right? If you start to do this, you will start to enjoy the salah. Okay, and this final slide. Thoughts, right? We said preparations, actions, and thoughts. So thoughts, you can think about the meaning of what you are reciting. Even if you don't know Arabic, you should know the meaning of the Fatiha. If you don't yet know, right after this, make a point to read the translation of the Fatiha. So you can think about the meaning of what you are reciting. And this is Ramadan, this is the month of the Quran. Why not dedicate some time during this month to learn the meaning of some other surahs that you commonly recite? So when you are praying, you can think about the meaning of those surahs. Another thing you can do is vary the surah you are reciting, right? Yeah, if you only know one or two surahs, and then yeah, you can try to learn a couple more, especially Ramadan is a good time to do that. Yeah, if you, and these shortest surahs of the Quran are only a couple of lines, right? Al-Kawthar, Al-Ikhlas, Al-Asr, Al-Nasr, إذا جاء نصر الله, right? So if you know at least these four surahs, you don't have to recite the same surah every time. And especially if you know the meanings of these surahs and you think about the meanings, this can help to keep you focused. Yeah, I'll jump to the second and third points. You can think of death, right? Yeah, without being morbid, right? Because we know that death is a reality. So when we die, we will have to leave all the worldly things behind. So think of Salah as a kind of preparation for death when you force yourself to not think about your homework or your TV shows or your favorite book or what you are going to talk about with your friends, and force yourself to think about Allah, to think about what you are reciting. And the third thing, imagine yourself standing before Allah, yeah, maybe on the day of judgment, and your deeds are being weighed, right? And you are wondering whether you will receive your book in the right hand or the left hand, right? Okay, so it is 2:34, 2:35 now. So the presentation is over. So now we have the Kahoot. So I think I need to go to the window. Okay, so I think most people know how this works. You can join with the Kahoot app or on the website www.kahoot.it. You see it there. Yeah, 2 people have joined. You'll need to provide the game pin which you see on the screen. Okay, we'll give a few moments for other people to join. How many people in the Zoom session? We have about 14 people. So hopefully, can we please wait 2 minutes? Okay, we'll wait 2 minutes before we start. And in the meantime, there are other comments in the chat window. Oh, thank you, Brother Osman and family, for your messages. Alaykum assalam. And there's a question.
Where's the game pin?
Oh, sorry, I changed the window. Okay, 358-9975. Yeah, maybe I'll, okay. There's a question that someone sent to me privately. Can you read from the Quran while praying? There's disagreement among the fuqaha about this. What my advice to you would be that don't hold the Quran in the fard prayer. But if you want to do it in Taraweeh, then inshallah that is okay. Imam Abu Hanifa said that you should not do this and it invalidates the prayer. But actually the 2 students of Abu Hanifa, Qadi Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan, said it does not invalidate the prayer. So inshallah, even if you are Hanafi, it is okay, particularly if you are not able to go for Taraweeh in the masjid and you want to finish the Quran in Taraweeh, then inshallah it is okay to follow the view of the other 2 Hanafi Imams, Abu Yusuf and Muhammad ibn al-Hassan. And for the Shafis, Malikis, and Hanbalis, it is okay to hold the Quran, at least in the optional prayer. Okay, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, is anyone else going to join? Okay, I think we'll get started. I think it's been 2 minutes. So how does this work? Just a minute. Actually, this is my first time using Kahoot. There are 10 questions. Okay. First question. What is the name of the Shaitaan that confuses people during prayer? Khushu, Kaza, Kawala, Khinzab. 30 seconds for each answer. And you see the timer, 5 seconds remaining. Okay, 7 people got the right answer, which was Khinzab. That's strange. Why are there 2 people with Fatima and Inas, 947, 948? Does it give you points based on how quickly you answer? Yeah. That's right. Okay. Which of the following is not part of Khushu? Humility, tranquility, closing your eyes, fear of Allah. Yeah, but Brother Hamza established this good sunnah of the Kahoot last week, so I'm following Brother Hamza's sunnah. Okay, 8 people got the right answer. Closing your eyes is not part of Khushu. Hold on a minute. Actually, so closing the eyes is not generally part of Khushu. It is not recommended to close your eyes in Salah, but there can be an exception if you are in a very distracting environment. Then you might choose to close your eyes to focus more on the prayer. So in that case, it might be a part of Khushu, but in normal circumstances, it is not. Okay, still we have, let's see, we have 4 people very close together in the lead. True or false? Khushu is from the inside out. I actually didn't tell you the answer to that, but let's see how many people can figure it out. Is it from the inside out or from the outside in? Okay, I think everyone got it. It is from the inside out. So let's see, Inas is in the lead, 28.52. Mariam is not far behind with 28.35. Another true or false, it's possible to earn half credit for your Salah. Okay, most people got that. Inas is still in the lead, but Miriam has a streak. Not far behind. And Yahya and Imad are not far behind also. Okay, and Faliha and Fatima, who ignored the fire in his house because he was praying. Bukhari, Zain al-Abidin, Abbad, Thabit. Okay, this was a bit harder, I guess. Only 6 people got it. Now still in the lead, but Miriam only 5 points behind. Faliha now has a winning streak. Fatima, Yahya, and Ahmad are third and fourth. If food is served, then you delay the Salah, even if the time for Salah will be over when the food is done. True or false? Okay, most people got it. Miriam has gone into the lead. 57-48, and Inas 56-75. Oh, Aya is new in the top 5. Which of the following is not a preparation that can help with Khushu? Pray Sunnah, turn off your phone, wait until after Salah to use the bathroom, turn the TV off. Oh, the camera is off. Okay. Seems this was challenging. Only 5 people got the answer right. Faliha has climbed into the lead. Fatima is second with the streak. Miriam is third, Inas is now fourth, and Aya has remained in the top 5. Where should your eyes be focused when standing in Salah? On your feet, the spot where you do sujood, upward to the right. Feet.
To the right.
Where do you look when you're praying?
Down.
Okay, most people got that. Good. Faliha is leading now. Fatima climbed into second place. Mariam is third, Inas is fourth, and Aya is fifth. Okay. If your phone rings during the Salah, you can turn it off and it will not break the prayer. Actually, I didn't cover that. Let's see who knows the answer. Yes, true, because the type of action or amount of action, okay.
Sorry.
This was not an acceptable thought during Salah.
Sorry.
The answers to your homework, the grave, Day of Judgment, meaning of what you are reciting. Most people got that. Answered your homework you should not be thinking about in Salah. Good, so let's see. Third place with 7608, Mariam. Second place, Fatima. And first place, Faliha. MashaAllah. With so Faliha had 9,256 points, and she got all the questions right. Runners up, second place was Fatima, 8860. She also got all 10 right, and third place, Mariam. Okay, so well done to all of you. And Faliha, can you please message me privately on the Zoom, give me your email so we can get you your prize. It'll probably be a gift card. Who won last week?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Okay.
I think it was Ina.
Maybe in Inas. In any case, so we are done. Actually, the question about the cell phone and turning it off, yeah, so you should not do, in general, you should not do actions in the Salah that are not part of the Salah, but only if the action is a major action, a kind of big action, only then will it break the prayer. So the action of reaching your hand into your pocket to turn off your phone is considered a minor action. So it does not invalidate your prayer. And you should actually turn off your phone if you forgot, if it rings, if you forgot to turn it to silent before the prayer. You should actually turn it off if it goes off during the Salah for your own concentration, and especially if you're in the masjid, for the other people's concentration as well. Okay, so we are done then. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you, all of you, and next week, same time, there will be another program with another speaker. I'm not sure, is it Brother Hamza again next week with the part 2, or someone else?
Yes, inshallah.
Okay, so Brother Hamza next week with part 2, continuing from last week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.